Live from the RTPR studio, it's time for One-on-One with Belle. In this episode, Belle interviews one of the most lovable and creative owners in the Disney theme park community, with his focus surrounding customer attractions and entertainment offerings with a history of 5+ years. This is sure to be a great one. Let's send it on down now to Belle.
Well, hello everybody to the show. It's great to be back. Today we have our special guest, Michael. Hello, Michael. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's been quite a while since we've last spoken.
Yeah, seriously. We talked about it just now. It's been like a year. It does not feel like that at all.
Exactly. Just introduce yourself to the audience. Like, what do you do? And also, how did you get your username?
Oh gosh. So, I'm Michael. You probably know me from owning Disneyland Wales. And my embarrassing first username was Turbo Max Power. I was pretty young when I did that one, so I just chose 3 words that sounded powerful, I guess. And then Iprojectionix just came from, I don't know where that came from, to be honest. It was pretty random. It just sounded nice, had a little catch to it, so I used that one. I'm 20 years old and I've got Disneyland Wales for over 5 years now.
So tell us a bit about your primary project, Disneyland Wales.
So Disneyland Wales is, my main project right now. It takes up most of my time. Only because there's so much history to it that there's always something to fix or adjust, and especially right now that it's going through such an improvement stage, everything's closing and being redone and everything. And lately as well, we've had the amazing developer Ryan that's been helping me out with so much stuff, especially scripting wise. But yeah, like I said, it's mostly Disneyland Wales. There's just a lot of other side projects that I've worked on a little bit. But there's just so much going on with that place.
How would you describe the role of being the owner of a group on Roblox?
It's a lot of pressure, I will admit, but it is fun. Don't get me wrong, it's very fun, especially because I have such a passion for it as well. I get to meet and interact with so many people, including team members and new faces that join every other day. And there's a lot of responsibility as well, but I do feel like I have the correct personality and ideas to kind of lead the group in the right direction, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Personally for you, how does it feel to lead Disneyland Wales, and what would you say is your favorite aspect about leading a group with such a successful history on Roblox and also having quite a few awards under its belt?
Oh yeah, the awards were very unexpected. I didn't even imagine myself getting onto Rapper, to be honest with you. It was let alone win something on there. It was crazy. When I made Disneyland Wales, it was more of like a project that I could work on when I come back from school and not be bored on my iPad all night. I never really thought I'd get this far at all, especially like over 5 years. I never expected it to be one of the bigger parks on Roblox either. You have like Universal and everything. And then you have Andrew literally coming to the park on opening day and everything. And the park wasn't even that good back then, I must admit. But it is more like a hobby to me and a passion. So I'm happy it gets recognition, but I'm more happy that it makes others happy. Yeah.
What would you say is your most favorite project that you've worked on?
Considering DLW is probably like the biggest one that I've worked on, it's probably just going to be DLW because it takes so much of my time again. There's not many other things I work on, to be honest with you.
Is there a specific project in DLW that's been one that you look back to and have fond memories of?
Oh, definitely Tarzan, because I feel like when that ride opened, it wasn't like any of the other attractions that were in the park at the time. And ever since Tarzan opened, I can only really think that everything else has improved since then, and we're still in that stage. So following that, probably the Mickey Mouse in a Haunted House ride as well, because I had the skills now to do what I had in mind for that ride this whole time, and it turned out pretty well.
I'll put you on the spot for this one. Considering real life theme parks, what would you say is your favorite Disney theme park?
I've only ever been to Florida, Walt Disney World, and I also went to Paris when I was a baby, so I don't remember that at all. So I can't really make like a judgment with the experience for any of the parks, but if I had to choose one that I think looks best from not going to, I'd have to say Shanghai. I've heard a lot about it, but I think it has so much stuff that's different from the other parks that you don't really... A lot of the parks like have stuff in common. I just feel like Shanghai just had something completely different, so I'd love to go there and experience that, but definitely Shanghai in my mind.
What other projects outside of Disneyland Wales have you worked on?
I have a big interest in aviation, so I also have another group called S Central International, which isn't the best of groups because I can't put all of my time into it right now because of DLW. It works. That's all that matters right now. Because aviation used to be like my main focus on Roblox before DLW was a thing. I always played a lot of flight simulator games and everything. But I also am starting a voice chat game very soon, and I also want to make a horror game at one point. So it's just S Central, to be honest. That's an actual thing right now.
If I may ask, why do you want to make a horror game?
I love horror as well. I know like Disney and horror don't really mix, but like I love watching horror movies. I love getting scared, horror games, everything. Just it's so fun, and I love being on edge like that.
What tips do you have for future developers on Roblox?
From experience, I think as long as you show how passionate you are, you'll go far no matter how long it takes. Because I kind of have the experience to prove that. I mean, 4 years to keep doing what you're doing is like, it proves to people that the statement's true, if that makes sense. And it just shows how much, like, how important it is to me, this community that DLW has. And then you see all these other games that, you know, become popular in like 2 minutes. I think passion just shows no matter how long you work on something, you'll always prove people wrong, all the negative things they say about you. And I think if you're spending like 2 minutes making a game and it becomes popular, there's nothing to really prove how passionate you are about it, because if you wanted to make it perfect, surely it would take more than, you know, that time to make something, especially if it's like being improved every day and etc etc.
What would you say is your experience with the greater Roblox theme park community, and what do you think about the state of the community in current day?
The state of the community, I would say, I don't like saying it because, you know, at the end of the day, it is DLWs in this community, but I do find it a little bit too negative sometimes. And although theme parks should be about happiness and positivity and everything and an escape from the world, it is unfortunately really negative. And I don't like to acknowledge the negativity in public anymore, at least, because I'm more like, I feel determined to kind of prove that there's a better side of it through my part. Yeah, that's really my goal right now as well.
And lastly, what's next for you on Roblox?
Hopefully Disneyland Wales continues, because that's like, it's like a family to me right now. You know, I get to meet people in real life as well. Like, I'm still meeting new people every time I go to Florida because of it. But hopefully I get to start, you know, the voice chat game and make a horror game and make all these dreams that I have without... And I also want to make a theme park one day as well, like another one without any IPs, because I feel like that would be a pretty good challenge. You know, make my own stories for it and everything. Because, you know, it is pretty hard to make original stories and everything. But I feel like all of my friends would, you know, help me along and stuff. But it is easier said than done, of course, because Disneyland Wales is pretty my priority right now, so it would be pretty difficult. But once I think I'll improve the park a little bit, I'll have more time to make other things.
Well, we here at RTPR hope that you and your group continue to succeed on the Roblox site and just bring joy to everyone who goes through your games. So
Thank you for having me as well.
of course, thank you for being on the show. It's a pleasure to talk to you again.
You too.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Please check out our social medias in the link below. Check out our other interviews with other Roblox creators and developers, and be sure to visit Disneyland Wales and other projects that Michael has for his future.